Hi everyone and welcome to Protocol 36. With the release of the official Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness trailer, showing a bunch of things that we could expect in the film. And for the last few days there have been different types of theories, speculations going around, especially when it comes to the mutants, as we do know Sir Patrick Stewart's Professor X will be in the film for sure. However, specifically for this video we'll be talking about one of the most popular theories, that is, did Scarlet Witch erase the mutants in the MCU? Now before we get into this, if there's any point you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you could drop a like, as that would really help out the channel. Thank you. So obviously having mutants in the MCU is not only a big deal, but also very important, given the X-Men's history in the comics. But there is one theory by one of Real Reject's videos, and another video by New Rockstars, where Eric Voss is breaking down the trailer. Both videos I'll be linking in the description down below for you guys to check out if you haven't already. But the theory goes, the truth Charles Xavier is talking about in the trailer, that they should tell Doctor Strange, is actually that the MCU itself, everything we've been following all the way from 2008's Iron Man to Spider-Man No Way Home, has been a post-House of M reality, where mutants have already been wiped out, which is something Greg from Real Rejects came up with, providing an in-universe explanation as to why we haven't seen any of the X-Men or any other mutants yet in the MCU. And one of the main goals in Doctor Strange 2 is trying to bring them back into the main MCU reality, adding on to the fact that we know Xavier is going to be in the film, as we just heard his voice, and I don't think any version of Professor X would want his race to be annihilated in any universe, but always wanted them and humans to coexist in peace, as that was his dream, obviously, which remains the same in the Fox X-Men films. Now, is it possible that Wanda may have actually been the one responsible for why we haven't seen any mutants in the MCU so far? And if so, when did that happen? Personally, in my opinion, I probably would have written it off as something that is just way too complicated, and as great as the theory is, I don't know if general audiences will be able to wrap their heads around that. However, with a film like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where insane things are already happening, especially bringing in characters from past Marvel films before the MCU was even a thing, and everything that happened in Spider-Man No Way Home, and I mean literally everything that happened in that film, I think I would be the insane one to say that there isn't at least a chance that this couldn't happen, especially when we are already getting at least one mutant in the film, even if it's a specific version that isn't from the MCU. So I think at some point in the film, and definitely in the future of the MCU, they will have to address what's up with the mutant kind in the main MCU reality. But when did it happen? In Real Reject's video, Greg explains that possibly a variant of Wanda from a different universe was the one who cast the spell, saying the infamous words of no more mutants, which not only affected one universe, but almost every other universe from the multiverse, kind of like it did in the comics, affecting other dimensions. And personally I believe it's one of Xavier's missions as one of the last remaining mutants to try and bring the mutant race back, like Beast tried to do in X-Men Endangered Species, especially when it's already been established in the MCU that not every universe followed the exact same timeline, like how other variants of the same character can be older than each other, like we saw in classic Loki in the Loki Disney Plus show, and of course Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's definitely possible that this could have happened way before in the MCU's timeline. And Wanda, that being MCU's Wanda, we've been following ever since Age of Ultron, looking to be like the villain of the film, will utter the words normal mutants, but with a twist, knowing that this might be one of the only ways to have her sons, Billy and Tommy, back into the main universe. She will instead say no more mutants, finally bringing them back in the MCU, as well as the hatred the public had for them, just like they do in the comics, setting up the X-Men in the future, and of course other characters from that specific lore, introducing more of them in future MCU projects, and eventually getting their own films or even shows. In my opinion, if Marvel pulls this off and does it in a way where it's executed well and isn't done in a very confusing way, I think this would be pretty smart. Before, I was against having the idea of the X-Men being introduced via Multiverse, because to me it wouldn't really make any sense, and I would prefer it if they were already in the MCU to begin with, just that we haven't seen them yet. But having the mutants where they were always here, we just didn't know what happened to them, but the movie will bring them back where they were always meant to exist, and now they have to adjust in a world where they were always hated while other heroes are being loved and praised, which once again in my opinion would be brilliant. However, what about you guys? Do you think a variant of Scarlet Witch erased mutants in the MCU and the no more mutants already happened from another universe? If so, if not, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please like, and one more subscribe. To begin, Protocol 36.